the channel. I just wanted to take this opportunity today to share some things that we did this Memorial Day. Maybe not the funnest, but it was definitely productive. So I had the opportunity to clean out the car, which was really nice. So I cleaned it out really well and I did a full detail on it. And my husband also got the opportunity to pressure wash the back side of our house. So you got a little bit of content there. And I also am going to be sharing some meal prepping with you and kind of what we're having for dinner tonight. So thank you for joining and I hope you enjoy. All right, so let's show you the start of this. So interior of my car, as you can see, it's super dirty. Like I said, winters are rough on the cars. Yeah, look at all the dust, the debris. The mats, just terrible. And then moving along to the back seats. So we just had some family in town and my car was the main one we were taking around. So our son typically sits here, but we moved him to the third row for the time being. So that's kind of where he's been hanging out. We're going to get his seat moved back where it belongs, clean it out. Puke bag. Unfortunately, our son tends to get car sick, so we like to keep those with us at all times. And onto the back of the car. So he is in baseball, so he's got one more game left, so we'll be able to get this stuff out at that time. But until then, it's made a bit of a mess of my back trunk and third row. All right, let's jump right into this. And we're going to start off by getting all the trash and junk out of the car. So we're going to start off with this console here. And right now I'm kind of going through what we've got in there. A couple of the things we'd like to really keep with us at all times when we're in the car is that little first aid kit. It's just a simple breakdown of like a large first aid kit you would keep in your house. I just keep the essentials, Band-Aids, alcohol wipes, Neosporin type stuff, little medicine packets, stuff like that. Nothing crazy, but it comes in super handy for not only the kids, but the adults. I found myself needing it a couple times as well. And the baby wipes. So our kid is 7, I know, but those little wipes have come in handy on so many occasions, not just for him, but for spills and messes in the car, for dirty hands, dirty faces, adults' dirty hands. It just comes in handy. So they'll probably always travel with us. And then in the second row there, you saw a little sticker book. That sticker book is great for my kid. He loves those. That's like our 4th one. And he just goes to town on those. It's something that we always have in the car, whether it be for long trips or short trips. You know, as soon as a kid gets in the car, I'm bored. When are we going to be there? Are we almost there? That's kind of a good boredom buster. He likes to stay busy, so why not give them something simple that doesn't make a huge mess to keep them busy in the car? So also, does your kid feel the need to have almost every toy possible in the car? Because I tell you something, we have a little caddy for him and it helps to manage the mess. But geez Louise, he's always bringing stuff into the car. Like you can see his little pile of toys there. It's just crazy. And then I just want to take a second to talk about these mats. These mats, I love them. I'm glad we have them, but getting them out of the car was ridiculous. It took about 15 minutes to pull those suckers out of the car, but they needed a really good clean, so I'm glad I got them out of there because they look so much better. Now for the after. Who doesn't love a good after? So it took me about a good hour and a half to 2 hours to clean this car out. And my husband did jump in toward the end, as you saw, and was helping kind of get it over the finish line. But what a difference. I'll tell you what, we actually took the car out later that evening, and it was so nice to get into a fresh, clean car. And it smelled so good, and it was just wonderful. And as you can see, we've still got some toys and things in the car, but listen, if you've got a kid, it's just what it's going to be. So again, as I was talking about that caddy, we do have that caddy, and we do have the cover for the seat there on, the car seat, so that it doesn't mess with the seat itself, like a leather seat. So we've had that ever since we've always had it, essentially. So it's protected our seats so well, and it's stood the test of time. I think we've had that one for probably like 5 years, and it's still going strong. So I definitely recommend that. All right, and now we're on to the pressure washing. So this is actually our detached garage, and the back of it just looks absolutely awful. So it was like this when we moved in, and we moved in back in March of this year. And it was kind of funny because our insurance company actually, after we, signed up with them and everything, they came and they did their inspection of the property and everything. And the only thing that they came back with and messaged us about was like, hey, that moldy stuff on the back of your detached garage there is really going to need to be taken care of and documented. So I kind of got a kick out of that because of all things. It's like, that's what we're going to complain about. But nonetheless, it really did need to be done. So we finally got the good weather to tackle this project, and my husband was able to knock it out for us. And it was so satisfying to watch this when I was putting this together. I was like, man, that looks so much better. Talk about like instant satisfaction. So yeah, it does look so much better, and I'm grateful that we were able to get this finished, and now we just got to maintain it. Okay, so on tonight's, well actually this is not for tonight, I'm prepping this for tomorrow because we've got to use up the chicken that we have is expiring, so we want to make sure we get it cooked up so we don't waste any money. And this is going to be Huli chicken in the crock pot. So I've got all of the ingredients laid out here, and this is also seems like I've not made this before, but it seems really delicious and it seems super simple. So I feel like this can also be a great weeknight meal that you just pop in the crock pot before you leave for work, and it's done for you when you get home. So the first thing it calls for is 1 cup of pineapple juice. So I just got a can of the pineapple tidbits because I wanted to actually be able to put some pineapple in this because we really enjoy pineapple. So I thought that would be really nice. We don't have quite a cup, but it's pretty darn close. And being that I'm putting some of the pineapples in it, I think it'll be just fine. Okay. So there's that. And then we need 1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So 1.5. We've got 1. A little extra. There we go, 1.5. Okay. And then it calls for sesame oil. We don't have sesame oil, and I don't feel like running to town for it. So what I'm going to use in place of that is this seasoning that we have, which is sesame, ginger, crunch, and garlic. I think it'll be okay. It'll add a little bit of sesame flavor and a little bit of extra flavorings, but it kind of goes along with what we're making, so I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. We're just using what we have on hand. We're not trying to make it super complicated. And then we need 1/3 cup soy sauce. So soy sauce, we opt for the low sodium soy sauce. Okay, and we got 1/3 cup here. And we'll just take this lid off, make it a little easier for ourselves. Okay. I also want to know, comment below if you've made this before and is it any good? Crock pot or otherwise. I see that there were also some recipes for this outside of the crock pot, but I wanted it just a little bit easier. But I'd love your feedback on what you think of it and what your family thinks of it. All right, half a cup of brown sugar. Half a cup. Let's see if we've got enough. We were getting toward the end of the brown sugar here. I think that'll work. Okay, there's those. Then half a cup ketchup. Also, I do no salt added ketchup. All right, I'll call that good. Get a little spatula here. Put that right in. Okay. So we also needed some fresh ground ginger, grated ginger, but we don't have any of that, so we're just gonna do regular old ground ginger, the seasoning form. So I think we're gonna do about a tablespoon in this. And it also had some in the seasoning we added prior to. So again, I think it'll still work out okay. I'll let you know how it works out and if it turns out good or not. Okay, and then we need some minced garlic. We need 1.5 teaspoons of minced garlic. So here's 1 teaspoon, so we'll do 1.5. And honestly, I love garlic, so I'm probably gonna go a little heavy on this. My whole family loves garlic, so. And it's so good for you. Okay. And then the only thing else that it calls for was some cornstarch and water, but that wasn't until after it's done cooking. But we'll add that at that point to thicken it up and make a sauce. So we're just gonna give this a good whisk, get it all combined. Okay, so once we get that chicken ready to go, we'll plop that in the slow cooker and then we're gonna pour this on top and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this recipe calls for 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We don't use chicken thighs that much around here just because the excess fat that's in them. I don't like that texture, or I don't want the extra fat either. So my husband went and trimmed all the fat off on these chicken breasts. I have 2 large chicken breasts in here. I would say it's pretty darn close to that 2-pound mark, maybe a little bit under, but it's gonna be pretty close. And we are a family of 3, so I think this will be just fine for us. So we're just gonna pour it right over the chicken. Okay, let's get all that extra flavor in there. Don't waste any. Okay. All right, so we're gonna just go ahead and set it and forget it. Looks delicious, smells delicious. Hopefully it's as good as it smells. And we are gonna cook this on low for probably about 4 to 5 hours. And this is actually gonna be our dinner for tomorrow, so just prepping ahead. And what I'll serve it with tomorrow is probably gonna be some yellow squash that we purchased today and some rice.
All right, let's go ahead and get this meat seasoned up for the grill. I like to use Meat Church. Just something since I started barbecuing, I really like their products. So we're just gonna go with the Gospel. So I like to season it a little bit liberally. Just gonna coat both sides. We're gonna let this sit for a little bit, probably about 30, 45 minutes, just to let the seasoning break down a little bit. Keeps a nice coating before throwing on the grill. They typically have a decent amount of sugar in them, so they caramelize on the meat. And then the sizzle. Let that go.
Okay, so here is the final product of our Memorial Day dinner. So we've got the sweet potatoes all seasoned up and delicious. We've got some cilantro lime corn. And we have the grilled chicken. And here it is, all plated up, looking delicious. That's going to be it for this video. So I really want to take this time for you guys to see some beautiful fireworks that were being set off in our neighborhood for Memorial Day. But also thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us today. And we do hope that you enjoyed your time here and will like and subscribe to our channel. We do have big plans for this channel and we have some great content in the works. So we would just love it if you were to join us. And happy Memorial Day. I hope you all enjoyed yours.